Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Gardiado is here with us. As you can see, Joe is pretty, but she's not only a model, she's an actress. My first question to you is how difficult it is to be an actor, what it takes to be an actor.
Okay, so acting, most people think that you need to have experience. I didn't personally, and most people also think that you need extensive training, acting classes, and a lot of schooling to become an actor. The truth is really that we all are actors, and it's our life experiences that make us who we are. We just have to learn how to understand how to bring that, character to life, and bring out each emotion for your role. I've watched endless YouTube videos, studied different techniques from online research. I've been learning each and every day, and that's.
Can you give example for the audience? What would be a good YouTube video, which would be a good
anything
resource?
like you can just. I started Googling, and the internet is at our fingertips. We literally, like, any question you have, anything you want to know. We all have smartphones. You have computers. You have laptops. Just Google it. On YouTube, any videos, you can do like basic acting techniques. There's tons of different acting techniques.
Do you think Stanislavski is still relevant?
Yes.
People
I like also the Meisner technique, and I've been studying Laban's movements, and there's always so much to learn. But if you do choose like a schooling route, there's tons of acting classes offered nationwide, no matter where you are.
What justifies someone as an actor? Is it, let's say, if you have the 10,000 YouTube subscribers, you're an actor. If you don't, at which point you would say, I'm an actress or I'm not? How do you measure this?
I would
getting gigs, number of jobs, or getting paid jobs? Like, what's the?
Yeah, I mean, you can do like I started off doing not paid jobs. I started on Backstage.com.
Okay, Backstage, guys, is a very good source.
Yes.
It's not that expensive, but
Very
it's
good.
pretty reliable
Yes.
space. It's much cleaner people you get rather than like Model Mayhem, for example.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I've tried Model Mayhem. Don't.
They're different type of animal.
Yeah, they are. And on Backstage they offer tons of different things. Like, you don't necessarily have to be, apply for an acting job. You can do modeling. They have print work. They have commercials. They have TV. You can even do like background on Blue Bloods. Law and Order. Like, they have all those castings on there.
IMDb credits, how they are important.
They are important because, it kind of makes you like, you're
Credible,
legit.
it's like
You're a
legit.
credible person. So I started on Backstage.com, and there's tons of casting websites out there. There's New York Casting, Central Casting.
How important the looks versus who you know? Is it important to know people in the industry?
It's important to know people. I personally think, I like acting a lot because it's about inside, it's your inner talent. What's inside, not necessarily how you look. Yeah, like certain roles you need to look a certain way, and like directors, and filmmakers are looking for, a specific look, but acting in general, like, it's definitely more so like something that comes from within. It's a talent, it's an art, it's a craft.
If
that
someone
you
is
work on.
appealing, it's much easier, and beautiful, it's much easier to get into acting. But if someone doesn't have those criteria from nature, how do they can compete in the acting world? Because there are some actors who are not that pretty, and they
Yeah.
still get pretty much picked nicely.
Yeah, I think it's all about, what they're looking for. I don't think, me personally, I don't look at myself in that way, like, I've known myself, my whole life. I don't look at myself like, oh, I'm beautiful, I'm pretty. I don't judge myself in that way. It's just, I
That's
know
something-
myself for who I am. And, I think everyone should embrace that, like, I'm weird, I'm crazy, I'm quirky, like, I have a million things going on in my head at once. But, no, I don't think you have to look a certain way, or that beauty gets you, like, so far. I think also it's harder for men, in that way, because like women do have a lot more opportunity, than men do. It's a lot harder for men,
Okay.
in certain ways.
But it's kind of fair, more fair, because in the fashion world, the girls get more gigs
Oh, yeah,
than the guys.
modeling,
But
yeah,
in
for sure.
acting, if the guy can speak and can move the product, especially we're talking about commercial, we're talking
Yeah.
about like
Yep.
if if the guy can convince the audience that this is the right product to buy,
Yeah.
they have the same number of chances as the female.
Yes,
They
correct.
have this muscular appeal that forcing whether females to buy and push it, because the girl is pretty and she can be nice and ask for it. But is it level field?
I don't know if it's like a, you know, a level playing field out there. You know, I definitely think like to some degree women, yeah, like if you're pretty, you're, you know, like you get more opportunities thrown your way.
Considering recent
You know?
scandals with
Oh, yeah.
that's a little bit of a topic for everybody's
Yes.
mind. But
Yeah.
okay, tell us a little bit about your career. Where you started, where are you going? Like, what's your future holds for you? Like, what's the next 5, 10, 20 years for you? Like, where you are going?
So I started out doing freelance modeling with just my friend that's a photographer in Connecticut. My sister's husband is SAG, so he does a lot of work on Blue Bloods, Orange is the New Black, Law and Order, CSI, Blacklist, all that. And he mentioned, you know, these casting websites to get on, and that really, you know, like, okay, let me do this. I had a couple headshots, and then boom, I was on. Also, to do backstage or to do any casting websites, you do need professional photos. So you're going to need someone to take, you know, good professional headshots, research that a little bit, you know, how to pose and everything, because they got to be good. They got to look legit. People, you know, you got to take what you do
I
seriously.
think the value of those photos are a little bit overrated nowadays. It used to be important in the past. Nowadays, the Instagram, the numbers
Yeah.
really matter. Sometimes you can get your selfie with this. This thing takes amazing photos by itself. So if you don't have that famous photographer next to you,
Yeah.
just if you are appealing and you can know the selfie business,
Yeah.
you might get noticed.
Yeah. And that's how I did get noticed. That's my first published photographer that I started working with. We connected on Instagram.
Because
And-
they think it's everything is edited. It's maybe 20 years ago. Like
Yeah,
once they
no,
see those
yeah.
edited pictures, they
Yeah.
think it's, oh, she doesn't look that way in
Yeah.
real life. They want to see like more like a Polaroid type of
Oh yeah,
pictures.
yeah. So I started working with Lorenzo and you know, at his studio, out of New York Studios, and that was like my first like, you know, I did an 8-hour shoot and we took over 3,000 pictures. It was my test shoot, and I was like on top of the world, you know, like I felt like great. I had a purpose, you know, to come to the city. It was something I always had dreamed of doing. So with those photos, you know, we did do headshots and everything. So you can make comp cards. You are your own brand, your own business. So comp cards, business cards, always good to carry around with you. Promote yourself at all times. Bring them to events. Anything that you
But they
do.
expire all the time. You change your color hair. You change.
Yeah, that you
looks.
got to keep
Like,
updating. This is like
the
a never-ending
electronic.
cycle.
Nowadays, people don't even carry the business cards. They just take a picture on the cell phone.
Yeah,
and,
but- and also-
it holds longer.
Right. You can
Save
have
paper.
Yeah, that's true. I know a lot of people that have their own websites. That's really important too.
Yes.
I did have someone make me a press kit. So you can just send it digitally, email a press kit, and it's just kind of like a compilation of your work, a bio. That's really important, you know, to let people know who you are and put your work out there. So I started modeling, doing photography, print work, and then the door kind of opened networking with other people. I went on Backstage.com. I booked my first movie that I did, Who's Jenna? We filmed in New Jersey. Thomas Baldinger was the filmmaker of that. Awesome movie. It's a rom-com, and I did work there. And then I started networking with those people and learning from them, watching how they act, being on set, learning everything I possibly could. It's so important. And then that opportunity took me to, you know, hopefully, you know, I'm going to be doing a TV series with him. He recently contacted me for that. Currently working, again, from Backstage.com on Rock Island TV series. It's based on the book by Robin K. Miller, Inside the Dark Underbelly. A female correction officer speaks out. and it's about Rikers Island and prison corruption, and we're really trying to get the word out on everything. But you get involved in all these different projects, things start coming your way, you're networking, you're talking to people, you know, like even exchanging numbers with like your hairstylist and finding them. Social media is huge. Instagram and Facebook is huge. It could be your hairstylist, your makeup artist at a shoot, you know, and they're like, oh, I think you'd be perfect for this, and they hit you up and you need them, you know, to do your makeup at your next shoot, you know, and your photographer's like, oh, this is great, you know, like everyone working together. I also, from my photographer, you know, had booked me to do, I hosted a fashion show for ASC Fashion Week, for New York Fashion Week, ASC Fashion Show, this past September, and that was a wonderful experience. Like, I never thought, okay, I'm hosting now, you know, like I'm walking a runway
How do
in New
you
York.
get, why, there are so many models, why they picked you? Why do you think they ask you for the hosting gig? Was it because you have a particular look or appeal, or you knew someone? What was the main part, like the
It's definitely who you know. It's definitely who you know. You know, he
the
was
trust,
friends.
the trust factor that you will come on time, that you're gonna
Oh
be there?
yeah, yeah,
is-
absolutely. It's kind of like, and in this business, you know, it's easier to, you know, use, you know, someone that you do know that is reliable, you know, that isn't gonna, you know, screw you over, that is gonna actually show up and is gonna take it seriously and do their job and know that it is a job and it is not about me.
Let's talk about an ability aspect of modeling and acting. There are a lot of fights and a lot of backstage and things taking place, and people are taking their jobs and not paying and paying, and there are a lot of scrutiny about this. But there are a lot of relationships, like you mentioned, when people trust each other and they build the bond and they rely on each other, and there is you know, honor in this.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about.
So
that
thank
life.
God I've never experienced anyone trying to take my job or anything that happens like that backstage. But you find good groups of people, really, and you know, you market yourself. I have been working with my photographer who got me that job, you know, with Fashion Week in New York in September, because he was friends with the guy that was his fashion show. So he's like, here, Joe, I've been working with you. I know you're reliable. I take what I do very seriously. I don't take myself seriously though, you know, but it's great, you know, like I show up on time, I'm reliable. I'm going to do anything you ask me above and beyond, you know, like to market your show, your fashion. Like it just turned out
Okay.
being really great. So now I'm being used again to
So
host.
do you do like keynote speeches? Do you do like any of the like addresses for the audience?
Yeah, for hosting the fashion show, we, you know, like had cue cards and everything that we read off of. We
Okay.
introduced every designer and every entertainer that was coming on. We had live music performances. So really, you know, we were running the show, and it was
Okay.
great.
That's another way to get into the voiceover. If you have a voice like you, probably you get to ask to be
A voice like me.
Voice, you have a good voiceover
I do.
voice. I think I have pretty heavy accent, so I don't get asked to do
Well, thank
voiceover
you.
as often as probably you do.
I've never got asked, so hit me up. I'll do voiceover.
Okay. Tell the audience, please, one more time your social media.
Oh, my social media. Facebook is Joe Gagliardo, Gagliardo, and my Instagram is the same thing, no space in between.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Joe, maybe you will come back another time, and if you have more questions for how to be an actress and where to start, and maybe other specific questions, maybe you will come and answer.
Thank you.